Hello, BookTube. Who's up for a little mail haul? I had company over earlier, and then I had that company left and more company came. And so a mail haul that I got quite some time ago just sat there because I don't open these things without you anymore. So we got to go over it now. Let's see what this first one is. One of these vacuum-pressed hardcover things that's often a struggle. You have to tear it to pieces to get it open. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay. All right. This is the finished copy of Tom Miller's The Philosopher's Flight with the Simon & Schuster, the new Simon & Schuster, incredibly obnoxious, not for resale sticker on it that's designed to, I guess, stop these things from being sold at the Strand Bookstore in New York City. So, you know, it's just a gigantic middle finger to reviewers who want to keep a nice copy of the books they review. But and honestly, what the problem is, that a problem should be so widespread that it requires this kind of sticker is nonsense. Anyway, I can't remember if we saw this on this channel before. Simon Schuster is proud to present with the anti-theft sticker an epic historical fantasy set in World War I era America, where magic and science have blended into a single extraordinary art, from ER Doctor turned debut novelist Tom Miller. Huh, interesting. So the author is a doctor. 18-year-old Robert Weeks is a practitioner of empirical philosophy, an arcane, female-dominated branch of science used to summon wind, shape clouds, heal the injured, and even fly. Though he dreams of fighting in the Great War as the first male in the elite U.S. Chivalry Corps, a team of flying medics, Robert is resigned to mixing batches of philosophical chemicals and keeping the books for the family business in rural Montana. But when a deadly accident puts his philosophical abilities to the test, Robert rises to the occasion and wins the scholarship to study at Radcliffe College, an all-women's school. At Radcliffe, Robert hones his skills and strives to win the respect of his classmates, a host of formidable, unruly women. Okay, all right. Okay, this is. He was the author is an emergency room doctor in Madison, Wisconsin, and this is his debut novel, which is not something I remember seeing on this channel before. Okay, so it's magic during World War I, which we've seen many times before, and it's an inverted world where it's inverted speciality where it's entirely dominated by women, and now we've got a man trying to break into a woman's domination. The thing that bothers me about it is the alternate reality in which science and magic combine a little too easily into one combined art. But the author is a doctor, so he has to know how close that skirts to what most people in America already believe, and probably deals with it in the course of the book. Okay, so this is, did I say when this came out? I bet this is soon. I bet this comes out in early February, mid-February, and it's a pretty thing. You can't really tell, but it's got embossed, or raised letters there. Okay, so we're off to a good start. This is an interesting sounding fantasy debut. I'll need to spend time peeling that sticker off, but that's all right. I'm going to do this thing here. I'm trying to remember the name of the there was a graphic novel of magic at the front of an alternate reality World War I. That was really good. It was really good. Oh, it was called Aerosmith. There's a graphic novel called Aerosmith. No superheroes or anything. It was just a fantasy story, a graphic novel called Aerosmith. I'll have to remember to show it on camera. I'm sure that I have it here somewhere because it was too good to get rid of. What do we get? Oh. Okay. This is a new biography of Francis I. There he is. Look at that. This is the maker of modern France. Can you see that with the lighting? And look, the author is Lanny Frida. And there is Francis. And I don't know if you can really make that out in detail, but I assure you the painting is accurate as far as that schnoz goes. And he's a fascinating figure. He really is. Interesting. Okay, a new biography of Francis I. Catherine de' Medici's father-in-law, King Francis of France, was the perfect Renaissance knight, the movement's exemplar and its Gallic interpreter. An astute diplomat par excellence and contemporary of Machiavelli, Francis was the founder of modern France, whose sheer force of will and personality molded his kingdom into the first European superpower. Huh. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's see here. So the author, Eleni Frida, was born in Sweden and educated in Britain. It speaks 5 languages and is a member of the Institute of Linguistics. She wrote a biography of Catherine de' Medici, and she lives in London. Okay, Francis I. Fantastic. Great. This hasn't been a bad start at all so far. Let's see what this next one is. This mail haul does indeed end with a box. So let's... Okay. Oh, man. Okay. That is a coincidence, and I don't like coincidences at all. They're so creepy. All right. This also comes out in mid-February. This is Where the Wild Cherries Grow, and the author is Laura Madeleine. Okay. So the surname of this book is Frida, and the surname of this book is Madeleine. Oh my. Okay. All right. Well, let's see what we've got here. It is 1919, and the end of the war has not brought peace to Emmeline Vane. Lost in grief, she is suddenly alone at the heart of a depleted family, and just as everything seems to be slipping beyond her control, in a moment of desperation, she boards a train and runs away. Her journey leads her to a tiny seaside village in the south of France. Taken in by a cafe owner, Maman, and her 20-year-old son, Emmeline discovers a world completely new to her. Oranges, olives, and wild herbs, and the raw, rich tastes of the land. But soon the secrets from home begin blowing in on the sea waves. 50 years later, Bill Perch, a young solicitor on his first case, finds Emmeline's diary and begins to trace the anguished story of betrayal and love that will send him on a journey to discover the truth. So, multi-generational. Interesting. Okay. All right. A historical novel. All right. On we go here. The last of these big cardboard things is this. Oh, goodness gracious. All right. This comes out in mid-February as well. Wow, my February shelf is huge. This is a murder mystery. Death in the Stars by Francis Brody. It's a Kate Shackleton mystery. I don't know what that is on the cover. Looks almost human, doesn't it? Yorkshire, 1927. Boy, all these books are historical. Eclipse fever grips the nation, and when beloved theater star Stelina Fellini approaches trusted sleuth Kate Shackleton to accompany her to a viewing party on the grounds of Giggleswick School Chapel, Kate suspects an ulterior motive. During the eclipse, Selena's friend and co-star Billy Moffat disappears and is later found dead in the chapel grounds. Kate can't help but dig deeper and soon learns that 2 other members of the theater troupe died in similarly mysterious circumstances in the past year. Okay, they didn't die during eclipses in the past year, both of them. So I don't know what that similarly is all about. There's only one circumstance we've heard of, and it's the eclipse. With the help of Jim Sykes and Mrs. Sugden, Kate sets about investigating the deaths and whether there is a murderer in the company. Death in the Stars. All right. Okay. This is going to be just predominantly historical. Wouldn't that be interesting? Okay, this next one is nonfiction. This is from Harvard University Press. This comes out any day now, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's January, so I should need to get on this right away. This is by Michael Sandel. Or no, it's edited by Michael Sandel and Paul D'Ambrosio. and it's Encountering China. In the West, Harvard philosopher Michael Sandel is a thinker of unusual prominence. In China, he's a phenomenon, greeted by vast crowds. China Daily reports that he has acquired a popularity usually reserved for Hollywood movie stars. Never heard his name before. China Newsweek declared him the most influential foreign figure of the year. In Sandel, the Chinese have found a guide through the ethical dilemmas created by the nation's swift embrace of a market economy, a guide whose communitarian ideas resonate with aspects of China's own rich and ancient philosophical tradition. Okay, the Chinese have found that in this guy, have they indeed? And there's no picture, so I couldn't pick him out of police lineup, but this is all about him. Okay, Michael Sandel is clearly worth a Google. I've never heard of him before. And he has a million Chinese babies named after him, so I should probably Google him and find out who he is. What's this next one? What is this? Oh, okay. Oh, great. All right. This is Akashic Books. This is Adam Smyer. You're never going to make that out. This is Knucklehead, which looks to be a novel of some kind. What have we got here for Knucklehead? Okay, great. All right, great blurbs. Yes, great. Oh, here we go. In Knucklehead, we meet Marcus Hayes, a black law student who struggles, sometimes unsuccessfully, with the impulse to confront everyday bad behavior with swift and antisocial action. I know how he feels. The cause of this impulse is unknown to him. When Marcus unexpectedly becomes involved with the brilliant and kind Amalia Stewart, her love and acceptance pacify his demons. But when his demons return, he is no longer inclined to contain them. And this comes out, do we have a date on this? Oh, mid-February. Go out another February book? No, I know exactly how Marcus feels. I went out and about today, or much earlier today, amidst people on the sidewalks and subways of Boston. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. I did not restrain my impulse to verbally tongue lash people when somebody does something absolutely stupid or rock bottom selfish right in front of you. Anyway. Okay, so this is also their catalog. They sent me their catalog for April to August. And the very first book is a novel by Michael Imperioli from The Sopranos. The Perfume Burned His Eyes. A teenager develops an unlikely friendship with Lou Reed in 1970s New York City in a standout debut novel. That sounds fascinating. And I usually frown on books by celebrities. Okay, well that's their very first outing. That's great. I'm going to have to go through this and see. So we'll just stick the catalog. We'll do what they did. We'll stick the catalog in with the book. Akashic Books, their spring and summer catalog. All right, we are slowly beetling our way down to the end here. Okay, yeah, it seems like a great idea to wedge it in like that. You just fold the envelope over it, but it's not. It means the person who's receiving it has to tear it to pieces or tear the book. Always seems like a good idea. It just barely fits, exactly fits the size of the envelope, so slide it down and fold the envelope over. No, don't ever do that. No, don't do that. So, let's see here. Okay, so this next one is from Grove Atlantic. It's a paperback original called Night Beast. A gorgeously written work of profound originality and vision. Slow down there, Seymour. Praised by Kelly Link as nimble, audacious, and far-seeing, these doomed love stories and twisted fairy tales explore the lives of women, particularly queer women and mothers, and reveals the monsters lurking in our daily lives, the madness, isolation, betrayals, and regrets that arise when we seek human connection. Okay. All right. So this is a paperback original that comes out in May. All right, and then we've got the last one here, a box. So we'll see. Let's see what this is. Let's sometimes these are penguins, which is always nice. Oh, these are penguins. Oh my. Oh my. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. So we have one that's new to me and one that's not. The Penguin sometimes does that. This is Turn of the Screw and Other Ghost Stories by Henry James in a new edition. And then the next one is by Selmer Lagerlof, and it is the Wonderful Adventures of Nils Holgersson. Which is, he is a naughty boy who pulls the tails of cats and trips up his mother while she is carrying the milk pail. One day he discovers he has been magically turned into a tiny imp. He climbs on the back of a gander and takes off with a flock of wild geese as they fly over Sweden, soaring above patchwork fields, through storms, to castles and lakes, and even to a city under the sea. As he learns about the world, he also learns what it means to care for living things in Selmer Lagerlof's timeless and beloved classic. Okay, so some of you are going to know this much better than I do. Selmer Lagerlof was born in 1858, died in 1940, raised on a farm in the Swedish province of Värmland. She was a teacher in a girls' secondary school for 10 years, one of a handful of professions open to women at the time. And this is her best-known book, published in 1907. A beloved children's book in Scandinavia that has been translated into nearly 50 languages. I wonder if I'm gonna miss a lot. I bet I am gonna miss a lot. I bet it's not translatable. Well, anyway, that's interesting. Great. No pub sheet on this, so no idea when these things come out. No. Okay. Well, that's all right. So we've got a lot to do. We'll do a Steve Pyramid here. We've got The Philosopher's Flight, Sorcery and Science in World War I. We have a biography of Francis I. We have Encountering China with Michael Sandel. We have Death in the Stars, Where the Wild Cherries Grow, Akashic Books, Knucklehead, and also a catalog, Night Beast by Ruth Joffrey, and two Penguin classics, Henry James and Selma Lagerlof. Nice, varied mail haul to upload when the sun comes up. And I'll see you then. Thank you, BookTube.